Hey folks, like I said, you're gonna be seeing a lot of reviews because since I had not done a video for a while, I got to see a lot of movies. And it's easier to just sit down and talk about a movie for 15 minutes or such instead of watching it for 90 to 2 hours and then doing a review. But moving on, one of the reviews, doing a couple of reviews today, is a film called Gotcha. Now, Gotcha is a film from 1985. This is thanks to Till from Germany. A film that I saw for the first time and enjoyed. I liked this film. And don't worry, folks, no nudity there. There's clothes and bed sheets and focus. But anyway, Gotcha is a 1985 film. Like I said, it's directed by Jeff Kanew. This is the same guy who did the first Revenge of the Nerds, which Anthony Edwards was in. And Anthony Edwards, I like as an actor. I know he got famous for ER, but I remember there's other films I remember him from. He was in a film called Miracle Mile, which I really enjoy. Another film which I'll review. You'll probably see a review within a week called Downtown that he did with Forest Whitaker. I enjoyed that film as well. He was in a film I reviewed that I thought was okay at best, called Delta Heat, which he wasn't the problem. Him and Lance Henriksen were not the problem in that film, Delta Heat. But he was also in Top Gun. Anthony Edwards I like as an actor. And I thought he was the main reason why I liked this film. Now, I guess there was a time in the 80s where kids at college would play these games, either called tag or called gotcha or called an assassination game. Kind of like a film I reviewed before called Tag, the Assassination Game. And the only thing that has in common with this is that little idea. And you see a little bit of that at the beginning with Anthony Edwards with this, which is sort of a paint pellet gun. I guess in the 80s this really happened during colleges. Kids would have like targets that they would have to find someone and they have to try to take them down with a paint pellet or such. Of course, nowadays that would never happen. I mean, of course, everything happened with college and schools and stuff like that, real shootings. They would never have students play a game where they would assassinate another kid. But that's a little part in this movie. That's not what the movie's mainly about, but it plays a part in the film. This is why I mention it, because at the beginning of the film I like the way it builds itself up like it's going to be an assassination, and that Anthony Edwards is following someone and he gives chase, but then he shoots someone and says "Gotcha," hence the title. And like I said, you could not do this in today's age. I like the little idea. You have this montage in the opening with the song called "Gotcha, Gotcha where I want you, Gotcha." And it's montage of him getting these folks with the paint pellets. And of course that features itself at the end of the film where he's dealing with real bad guys and he's got to use a dart gun. But it shows that he can aim well and he can, use the environment to his advantage, and that he's actually pretty good at this game. And I guess there was a video game for Nintendo called Gotcha, and reading up on it, it says it was based on this, but really, other than the fact it's like paint pellets and the title, it really has nothing to do with the plot of the movie or the story. But again, it says everywhere I read that the Nintendo game Gotcha was based on this movie. Which is weird because this movie didn't do anything. It didn't do well. It has no special features even on the DVD in the US. And this has, the trailer of the film. And again, it didn't do anything. I thought it was an entertaining film for Anthony Edwards. Him and, what was the guy's name? Actually, yeah, the store's done by Bill Conti. Let's see, what was the other actor's name? Because he goes to Paris with a buddy of his. And it's actually the guy from A Nightmare on Elm Street. Nick Corey. That's what he was naming himself. Nick Corey. His real name, which he would embrace later on in his life, was uh, Sue Garcia. But yeah, he was credited under the name Nick Corey when he did A Nightmare on Elm Street the year before in '84, and then I guess this was the next film he did. So it was cool to see that guy in another movie. Oh, that's cool. He did this after Nightmare on Elm Street. Nick Corey. He did this as Anthony Edwards' buddy. And like I say, they go to France, and a little bit of Anthony Edwards. I mean, he's sort of a virgin type of guy. I wouldn't call him a nerdy guy, but he's sort of a shy type of shy type of guy. He's a good guy, pretty much what I'm saying. He's a good guy. A little bit of funny stuff. Like trying to understand the language. Has this little argument with the waiter about the French language and how to say Pernod the right way, and it's one of those things that's hard to explain without showing clips. This is where it'd be nice to show clips, so I won't have to try to fucking explain and do a half-ass job of it. But anyway, I like the little scenes like that, and again, I think it's because I like Anthony Edwards, and pretty much he meets this girl named Sasha, played by Linda Fiorentino, who has a certain accent. It's like, oh, so you're a virgin, yes? And he's like, no, but then, he sort of fesses up, and she's like, hey, don't lie to me. And she's talking about, oh, I like virgins, and I like this and that, and pretty much they make love, and it's his first time. And it leads to them a little bit of fall in love, a little bit of montage, and ultimately leads to him going to Berlin with this girl. And pretty much as Anthony Edwards get involved with certain bad guys. She has to pick up a package, then she has to leave, and she tells him to leave. I like the little point where he gets across the checkpoint and goes, fuck you, to like Berlin, or says, fuck you, with his finger. And there's the officer who's like an American officer who goes, I've been wanting to do that for the last 6 months. I like little bits of humor like that. And then, he finds that his room's been ransacked. He escapes from gunmen. Actually, I like the little scene. He gets arrived with these punkers, like these rockers, punkers, and he's got to get through this checkpoint. So they make him up to look like a punk himself to get through checkpoint like that. And pretty much he even gets back home and he gets followed and arrested, and it's because of this little thing that he has. And pretty much you find out Linda Fiorentino was part of the CIA, and they were kind of using Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards is like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of being used. I'm going to make it my own game. And he gets Nick Corey and his buddies to help him out. And Nick Corey has his homeboys, and I like that they help him out. And he pretty much ends with Nick Corey playing gotcha for real with darts. I kind of like the idea. Nick Corey, I thought he did a good job as the buddy. I like the Anthony Edwards. He's not a guy who's going to use a gun and kill people. He's just a regular guy. He's not a killer or anything, so he's using a dart gun. I mean, this isn't going to be that long of a review because it's not a film that is complicated. It's a pretty straightforward film. I wouldn't say it's a film that's laugh out loud hilarious. I'd probably say I like Revenge of the Nerds better than this. Got a little bit, a bit more laughs and humor and stuff, but it's a bit of a different movie than this. I mean, I guess you could call this kind of a comedy, but it's also more a thriller as well. Sort of a humorous thriller in a way. I mean, I would say I probably like this more than Tad the Assassination Game. I think because I thought this movie moved at a little bit of a faster pace than Tad the Assassination Game. Still didn't mind that film, but I thought Anthony Edwards did a good job. I thought Linda Fiorentino was sexy, and it was easy to understand why he would sort of fall for her, and she was definitely tempting Linda Fiorentino, which I remember in film. She was in films like Men in Black, among many other films. And it's pretty much, this. You saw quite a few of these films back in the 80s when it was the Cold War and, an American kid or a teenager dealing with the KGB or being chased by the KGB. Either you saw like a little bit of James Bond type stuff, like If Looks Could Kill with the guy from 21 Jump Street. What the hell was his name? Richard Grieco. I actually like that film, If Looks Could Kill. That's a film I don't think that's out on DVD, but uh, I like that film, If Looks Could Kill. And there's other films as well that did that kind of stuff. It's one of those films that's kind of hard to do a review because what is there a lot to say? I like the cast. I like Nick Corey as his buddy, Linda Fiorentino as the sort of the temptress. I like, again, I thought Anthony Edwards did a good job. I thought the little bits that he had were decently funny. It's, again, the plot is nothing to run home about. I'm not going to say the plot is anything to, wasn't really the most it wasn't like the plot that really pulled you in tremendously or such. But yeah, overall I liked it for what it was. And I liked a little bit the idea, again, you would never do this today, but how he was playing this game at the beginning. I like that they set that up so that it made sense at the end why he was good using this type of, it's not a paint pellet gun, it's a dart gun, but how he would be decently good at this instead of out of the blue. So I like there's a little bit of build up to it. And I didn't mind the song Gotcha. And overall I thought it was a decent movie. I liked it. And the tagline, he started out trying to score and ended up being the target. It didn't do too well. $12 million budget, made $10 million, so it didn't do anything. Song Gotcha was British by a British singer called Teresa Bazar. Her song was specifically recorded for the film, while the album also included the songs by Geoffrey, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and Nick Kershaw, among others. I'm just looking at what other people thought. Vincent Canby thought, it's a small but elaborately overproduced comedy melodrama. He went on to deride the lack of flair in the film, as devoid of personality as it's possible for a narrative movie to be. I don't know about that. I mean, Leonard Maltin, very nearly a good movie with some sharp dialogue to start, but loses its appeal as it loses credibility. I don't know. I mean, do you really go into films like Gotcha for credibility? I mean, I didn't think it lost that much credibility as Leonard Maltin's making it out to be. I mean, it's a fun, humorous thriller. I mean, I won't call it an action movie because there's not much action at all, but it's May 3rd, 1985. Huh, it came out in the summer. Wow. I thought it was a decent film. I thought it was a decent film, and I don't make this review any longer because it doesn't need to be. Overall, I liked it. This is why it's hard to review these kind of movies, but I'm reviewing this because Till from Germany sent it to me. It's the least I can do, to at least hear my opinion. Even if I just came on here and said I liked it, go see it for yourself if you want to. If not, no worries. But be at least a little bit more in depth than that. But anyway, that's just my little thoughts on Gotcha. Thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for more reviews. And, one thing I liked, before I get into it, which makes sense, this is the end of the film. I like that, there's this girl who's sort of being bitchy to him. I do like the way this movie ends, where, there's the girl who was bitchy to him at the beginning, and she's sort of bitchy to him at the end. And I like that she sort of does something to him and walks away, and he pulls out the dart gun and shoots the girl in the ass with the dart. And he says, "Gotcha." So I like that. I thought that was a little fun way to end the movie. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you for next time. Later.